Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a topic for you related to heart. Okay, let me give you some details about heart health in today's lecture, because we have seen that people are having a lot of issues in the present scenario. The busy life has led to a lot of health related complications, and one major organ that we are focusing here is heart. So heart health is very important, and if heart is not functioning properly, definitely will not be there. So that is why let me give you some more details about heart health in today's lecture. So coming to heart, we know that it is the main organ in our cardiovascular system, which is very important for pumping the blood throughout our body. So it is very small organ, as small as the fist of your hand. It is such small, but it has the power of pumping the blood throughout your body. So this is very important, and it is powered by electrical impulses, which is very, very important. And basically your brain and nervous system directs your heart function. So for the normal functioning and proper functioning of the heart, the brain and nervous system's action is very, very important. So coming to a few things, how can we keep our heart health better? So it is always better to maintain a healthy weight. So based on your age and based on your gender, you can check on your BMI, and then you can try to maintain your healthy weight. And in case you're taking alcohol, you should always take it in moderation. This is very important. Okay. And apart from that, you need to have a healthy diet, which is very, very important to maintain a good heart health. So you can have as much as possible fruits, vegetables, grains. So all these are good. And when it comes to meat and grains and other things, you need to be very careful. The red meat can be detrimental. So you need to have a proper diet plan, so that too much of anything might lead to complications. So you need to check on that. Apart from that, moderate exercise is also good. Approximately you can consider like 150 minutes per week. Okay, so this depends on each person, how much you're capable enough. And you should always try to limit your sodium intake, because we know that blood pressure and heart diseases are very closely related. So if there is a lot of blood pressure related issues, it will finally impact your heart health. So now we know we are all in the stressful life. So trying to manage your stress by de-stressing yourself by one or the other strategy can be a good source. And one such helpful thing is yoga. Okay, so if you're interested in yoga, you can try to use that, or meditation, you can try to use that to relieve your stress. And smoking is one major problem. You should try to quit smoking, and even secondhand smoking can be detrimental. So you should stay away from all this. And I told you need to have a healthy diet plan, because there is something called as trans fats. Okay, so these are some fats which can clog your arteries. We know that the pumping of the blood happens through the arteries, and if there is any clog happening in this arteries because of the high cholesterol levels that is developing, so there is something called as good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. So good cholesterol is good for us, but bad cholesterol, it has the capability to clog your arteries. And we know that when the blood is pumped through the blood vessels, if there is clog in the system, there is a chance of heart attack. So in this way, this trans fat should be taken into consideration. That means it should be away from your food. So when you're checking the food label, you please check if there is trans fat. It should be 0% trans fat. Okay, and apart from that, even good dental health, hygiene should be there. Okay, this is also in few cases they have seen that the gum diseases related bacteria can enter the bloodstream, and once it enters the bloodstream, they can elevate the C-reactive protein. So this is a biomarker which can lead to inflammation of the blood vessels. We know here the blood vessels are very important, and certain inflammation of the blood vessels might give a negative signal to your immune system, where it can have a detrimental impact, and finally it can even lead to strokes or heart diseases. So apart from that, you should have enough sleep. At least 7 to 8 hours sleep per day is very, very essential. And it is always recommended not to sit for too long in one position. You should need to take breaks in between. So if you are having enough work, it's okay. Take a break in between, go half an hour, just walk and come and again sit. So that is very important, because if you're continuously sitting for hours together, it can increase your risk of something called as deep vein thrombosis, which can lead to blood clots. And if there are blood clots, again, it can lead to heart diseases if it is within the bloodstream. So this is just to show you that various steps to protect your heart. So I've already spoken about it. Some exercise, reducing alcohol, avoiding smoking, maintaining a healthy weight, and reducing your stress, managing your cholesterol levels, managing your blood pressure and glucose levels. So that all can help you in protecting your heart. So coming to few myths, okay, people have some myths about heart diseases. Let me share few of that. So they feel that taking statins, there are statins which are given during heart diseases. They tell that it can damage the heart. There is some side effects out of it. But let me tell you, the statins can block the liver enzymes that can promote LDL cholesterol production. Okay, so LDL cholesterol is nothing but bad cholesterol, and once this bad cholesterol is there, it can clog your arteries and it can lead to heart related problems. So statins can block the enzymes that can produce this bad cholesterol. So it is actually a myth that it leads to side effects. It is actually the other way around. And people feel that cardiac arrest and heart attack are the same thing. Okay, so these are actually two different things. Heart attack is different, cardiac arrest is different. Okay, in case of heart attack, it is basically a circulation problem because of the clogs that are formed because of cholesterol. So cholesterol deposits, okay, the cholesterol deposits within the heart. So you can see here the cholesterol is getting deposited, which clogs the entire blood vessel, because of which there is circulation problem which can lead to heart attack. So according to, under this situation, the person will probably be conscious, but we need to keep them calm. But what is cardiac arrest? Cardiac arrest is an electrical problem. It is not the circulation problem. Here the electrical impulse itself stops. So in this case, the person can become unconscious, and CPR is usually given under this situations. When the person starts feeling unconscious, you can start to give the CPR so that the electrical impulses starts again. So CPR should not be given during heart attacks, but CPR is given during cardiac arrest kind of situation. And sometimes because of poor lifestyle also, it can lead to these problems, and genetic issues are also there which can lead to issues. Coming to the vigorous problems. Coming to the problems here, coughing vigorously also can lead to issues. Coming to a few exercises which are good. So you can try to lower your blood pressure, and this will also help in maintaining your healthy body weight. Okay, so inflammation is one thing which can lead to complications. So you should try to reduce this inflammatory situations which are caused by the LDL deposition in your arteries. So this is just to show you that how the LDL usually deposits in the, or clogs in the arteries, and since they are clogging here, it can lead to reduced movement of blood flow, which can lead to heart attacks. So definitely the additional benefits of exercise which you can do is the muscles' ability to pull oxygen will be enhanced during exercise. This will reduce the burden on the heart during pumping, and it will also reduce the stress hormones to some extent, and it works like a beta blocker to some extent. So in this way, it will help, the exercise can help the heart functioning, and it will also increase the high density lipoprotein or good cholesterol. So this is very much required because it will help in controlling the triglycerides. So triglycerides are not good for the heart. So the good cholesterol that is formed will help in controlling these triglycerides. So coming to how much exercise and how often. So at least 30 minutes of aerobic exercise or something like walking, cycling or swimming, that might be good enough. And in case you are into weightlifting and other things, that also might help you in toning your muscles. But overdoing it also might be an issue. So there is a limit for everything. So here, overdoing of exercise, you will get to know it by your signs. So one is feeling a stressful and fatigue kind of situation might be there. So that will give you an indication that you're overdoing the exercise. Apart from that, any persistent pain, if there is there, that also gives an indication that the exercise that you're doing might be over for you. So in this way, you need to check on yourself and see if the exercise is enough or you're doing it more. So you can consult a qualified trainer for that, and that might help you in deciding how much exercise is enough based on your body weight. So coming to, I told you about the plaque formation. So let me give you little more details on that. So the mechanism of plaque formation is shown in this particular diagram. So what actually happens is the bad cholesterol, that is LDL, okay, so this in the bloodstream, they get modified, okay. So here basically the plaques are formed in the arteries. I told you that they start depositing in your arteries, and once they start depositing, your immune system becomes active. So they start coming into that place, they start infiltrating, and in the immune cells, the ones which are active are the macrophages. So you can see here, this macrophages comes and attacks that area. They will come and engulf these modified LDL, and once they engulf this LDL, they form something called as foam cells. So these foam cells actually go and deposit in the walls of the arteries, and once they start depositing, there is a lot of inflammation that happens in the blood vessels. This inflammation will further trigger the muscle cells. So these here, we can see here, these are the muscle cells. So once they trigger the muscle cells, these muscle cells will start multiplying, and they will come and cap around these foam cells. So they will cap completely around this foamy cells, and this further rises the blood pressure within the blood vessel, because there is clog that is happening and there is less space for the blood to flow within the blood vessel. This will create pressure in the blood, and during this, what can happen is these soft plaques which are formed here can break open. And once this break opens, the clots are formed, and that clots can entirely clog the blood vessel, which can lead to heart attacks. So coming to cholesterol and plaques, this is just to show you the movement of blood within the blood vessels, and this is the plaque that is formed. Okay, so too much plaque formation can completely restrict the flow of blood within the arteries, which can lead to this issue. So there is one important thing here. You might have heard about this angioplasty. So let me give you some details on that. So this is the plaque formation. You can just check here. These are the plaques which are formed in the blood vessel because of the cholesterol buildup. So this is the bad cholesterol which is depositing here. And now you have the stents which are used during angioplasty. So this is the stent which is introduced inside, and this is the balloon which is there inside. Initially it will not be inflated. It will be in this condition. So once the stent reaches the plaque area, the balloon inside the stent will be inflated. So once it is inflated, the plaques will be made far away, so that there is enough passage between the system here, so that the blood flow is made better. Okay, so the plaques which are blocking the area will be removed, and in this way later this balloon which is inflated can be removed, and the stent will be there in the system, and there will be a continuous movement of blood, and that is how the heart attacks and other things can be managed. So coming to one diagnostic center, SRL Diagnostics, they are into managing this particular condition. So they have their various plans. So this might be useful. So Healthy Heart Package, they have certain packages which is costing around 1,000 to 2,000 rupees, where they have various tests which are important. So they will do the glucose fasting test. Apart from that, they are also doing this cholesterol level testing, because we know LDL cholesterol is bad, whereas HDL cholesterol is good. So they find out the levels of these cholesterol and also the ratios of it to find out the situation of you. So based on that, you will even get to know if in future you might develop these kind of complications, and for that what you need to do, you can plan. So in this way, these kind of diagnostics lab also can help you in these situations. So coming to food that you can eat and food that you should avoid, I already told you about few things. So leafy vegetables and fruits, walnuts, all these are good for heart health. But coming to avoiding food, butter you should try to avoid, and the red meat you should try to avoid, and white flour. So these are the things you need to avoid. Apart from that, yoga is good for maintaining heart health. So these are few yogic asanas which will be useful. So we have seen that how plaque buildup can lead to a lot of complications. So it can obstruct the bloodstream, which can lead to the complications. Apart from that, now there is a lot of thing about gym. So people are interested in going for gym, and during this they might take a lot of steroids. And there are reports which tells that taking steroids for long also can lead to heart related complications. And not only that, food is also a major concern. So what happens is, if you try to have food which is smoked, that means you're trying to use the oil again and again. When you're trying to reheat the oil, they increase the chance of LDL or bad cholesterol formation in your blood, in your body. So that is why it can lead to a lot of cholesterol related problems. So as much as possible, you should stop reusing the oil. So roadside food, sometimes they try to use that oil, same oil again and again. So that can lead to a lot of trans fat deposition. And because the oil there gets oxidized once it gets smoked, once the oil starts releasing smoke, they oxidize to something called as trans fats, and we have already seen that trans fats can lead to a lot of complications. Okay, so in this way, it is better to use limited quantity of oil. So based on how much you want to fry or whatever, try only to use limited quantity so that you do not use the same oil again and again, which can lead to trans fat formation, which might lead to this complication. So in that way, you can definitely plan a healthy diet, and you can try to use exercise in moderation. And in case you are interested in yoga, you can try to use that for better healthcare. So stay vigilant, stay safe. Thank you for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and please like this video and share this video with maximum people. Thank you.